We did it for the Royal Rumble, and we might not do it for every pay-per-view nowadays, but we do it for the ones that count. And WrestleMania is unquestionably one of the pay-per-views that count. Night 1 of WrestleMania is 2 days away upon this recording, and the fact that I have not done predictions yet for the pay-per-view, I kind of have to, I probably should do some sort of predictions to let you guys know what I expect to happen at WrestleMania 40. With that being said, let's get to the predictions because we got a lot of matches to get to, as I'm going to squeeze it all into one predictions video. Night 1 of WrestleMania, Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee versus Santos Escobar and Dominic Mysterio. It was a very unique way to get Dominic on the show outside of putting him in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, which I don't know that the Battle Royal is going to not happen on SmackDown, or if the Battle Royal will happen on the pre-show. But either way, I don't know also that these are the final cards. But I would presume with the fact that WrestleMania is, again, 2 nights away, that the final cards probably have to be put in motion. So again, Santos Escobar and Dominic Mysterio versus Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio, with the fact that the other members of the LWO and Legado del Fantasma were a part of the tournament to crown potential challengers in the six-pack ladder match. That's the reason why they couldn't do the 8-man tag, and odds are those members will probably be in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. But the fact of the matter is, I'm going to keep it easy and I'm going to keep it simple. Unless you're going to have a turn of some sort in this match, you get the babyfaces, Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio, to win. 6-woman tag team match, Naomi and Bianca and Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill's in-ring debut against Damage Control, Dakota, Kairi Sane, and Asuka. And in my opinion, there's no way Jade Cargill loses her in-ring debut within WWE. So the fact of the matter is, Jade Cargill's team will get the victory. 2 easy matches to get out of the way first, and then we move to the 6-pack ladder match for the Undisputed Tag Team Championships. There's a rumor, I don't know if it was proven a fact or not, but there's a rumor that this match is not going to end when both sets of titles get taken down, that one set of titles will go down, and then the other set of titles will go down, thus splitting up the tag team titles once again. I honestly don't know if that's a good idea or a bad idea, but what I do know is, if they want to split up the titles and allow a more exact split to happen, an exact brand split to happen, then that would be a reason to do so. And if that's what they want, then they need to make sure that they have enough tag teams to justify splitting up the tag team division and not just splitting up the tag team division because of the brand split. With that being said, I would like to think that Awesome Truth will take the Raw Tag Team titles. I would like to think that the Awesome Truth will take the Raw Tag Team titles. And honestly, I would like to see A-Town Down Under take the SmackDown Tag Team titles because I would like to see Austin Theory and Grayson Waller win the Tag Team titles. And I think this is one of the ways that they could actually do so. Now I'm going to make the jump to the Intercontinental Championships. I just want to point out that I think that Damian Priest and Finn Balor have done a wonderful job as the tag team champions, but this 6-pack ladder match is the easiest way to get them to lose the titles without having them lose. Now we're going to move to Gunther versus Sami Zayn, and I think I thought there was a possibility that Sami could beat Gunther, but honestly, it doesn't feel right for Sami to beat Gunther. And I think Gunther may actually keep the Intercontinental Championship for right now just a little bit longer. Because I think there's more for Gunther to do as Intercontinental Champion, and there might just be a right person for him to lose the title against. Now we move to the tougher matches, and the tougher matches are going to take a little bit more time to talk about, that being Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch. Or one of the tougher matches, because I think this match could go either way, as Rhea Ripley has now held the championship for over a year, or almost a year, maybe over a year, I'm not sure when she won the title. But the fact of the matter is, I think you're getting to the point where there's nobody else for Rhea to fight. And it may be smart to consider. I'm not saying it may be smart to take the belt off of her, but I'm saying it may be smart to consider taking the belt off of her. But I did hear a rumor that Becky Lynch may not have signed back yet. And if Becky Lynch's contract is in question, and she may be taking a little bit of time away, it may be a reason then to allow Becky Lynch to lose, and Rhea to take the top spot from Becky and christen herself officially as the top women's wrestler in WWE. Because again, they have not completely ruled out everybody and exhausted all possibilities, as there are people on the SmackDown roster, namely the EST, that could step up and contend with Rhea Ripley. But I know this is a predictions video, and honestly, if I had to make a prediction with what I know, I honestly believe there's an outside chance that Rhea Ripley, or there's more of a chance, I should say, that Rhea Ripley gets the victory and retains her women's championship than Becky Lynch regaining the championship. But that's just me. Jimmy and Jay colliding in what is an affair that everybody wanted to see and has been, maybe sustained some questionable build-up, but Jay's got to get the win because WrestleMania has got to be the night where the bloodline and its power comes into question. Maybe not on night one, but definitely overall WrestleMania has got to be when the outlook of WWE with the bloodline leading the charge changes. And Jay, with what I think is going to happen on night two, Jay has got to get the victory to put himself in top contention on Raw as a potential viable World Heavyweight title contender. And now we move to the main event. And the main event is The Rock and Roman Reigns versus Cody and Seth. A match that I'm not sure any of us thought would ever happen. And I honestly will say, I don't care how much this might be a hot take. I much prefer this match than Rock versus Roman, because with Roman as the undisputed Universal Champion, The Rock should not have been the one to challenge him for the title, because it would have been a deserved WrestleMania match. It would have been a highly touted WrestleMania match, but it would have been a waste of a WrestleMania match unless you had Rock versus Roman one night and Cody versus Roman the other. Because unless The Rock won the Royal Rumble and Cody challenged Seth, and The Rock challenged Roman, you could not have Cody win the Royal Rumble and then not go for his WrestleMania match and give up his WrestleMania match to The Rock. The fact of the matter is, The Rock versus Roman is a match that could happen, but it doesn't need to happen at WrestleMania with Roman as the champion. If you wanted to have it happen, have Roman drop the title and then have it happen, because Roman as the champion, it takes away from the suspense, in my opinion, of what could happen in the match, because there's no way in hell The Rock should be the one to defeat the tribal chief for the undisputed Universal title. Because The Rock is not going to stick around, The Rock is not going to be there, and The Rock does not need to be the one to end the nearly 4-year-long reign of the tribal chief as undisputed Universal Champion. It would be a mistake. It would be a mistake. I don't care how much of a hot take it would be. I'm not saying it would not be a good WrestleMania match, but with the corner that they painted themselves in, you needed to do Cody versus Roman because it would have been a waste of a WrestleMania match to have The Rock challenge Roman Reigns for the Undisputed Universal title and no one else, because nobody would want to see The Rock win the Undisputed Universal title and nobody would expect to see The Rock win the Undisputed Universal title. Rip me apart in the comments all you want. I don't care. But as far as the main event, I think it is very likely that Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins lose the tag team match, and we see Bloodline Rules Night 2 in the main event, with Rock and Roman winning Night 1 and putting doubt in people's minds that that Cody Rhodes will win Night 2 and that he might actually lose again. But now we move to Night 2 of WrestleMania. But to go through Night 1 one more time, it is Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio winning their tag team match against Santos and Dominic Mysterio. Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill and Naomi winning the 6-man against Damage Control. Awesome Truth and A-Town Down Under. That is Miz and R-Truth and Austin Theory and Grayson Waller winning the tag team title match, the tag team title ladder match, splitting up the tag team championships, and two deserving teams getting their opportunity to become tag team champions. Jay beating Jimmy, Gunther beating Sammy, Rhea beating Becky, and The Rock and Roman Reigns beating Seth and Cody Rhodes. Now we move to Night 2. Night 2 of WrestleMania is another 6-man tag team match. And the other 6-man tag team match is the Street Profits and Bobby Lashley, which is a welcome sight because their opponents are the Final Testament, the Authors of Pain, and Karrion Kross. It is a blessing because I think that there was a chance that there were people that thought that you would never see Karrion Kross back in WWE, let alone on WrestleMania. And in my opinion, you have to figure that the Final Testament will win to allow the stable with no momentum, in my opinion, to my knowledge, to get some momentum going for themselves. And if anybody in WWE in this position can take that momentum, it is Bobby and the Street Profits. But also, allowing the Final Testament to win at WrestleMania gives the opportunity to bring back the match and do another match in April or in May, whenever the next pay-per-view is, where you continue the feud. But if you have the babyfaces win, it makes it a lot harder to continue the feud after the fact, because what are they fighting for if the babyfaces already won? I'm a little touch and go on LA Knight versus AJ Styles, but I want to go with the Women's Championship match next. Bayley versus Io Sky. And I think, again, using the same logic, though it might be old school and though you might be ripping me apart in the comment section, which, if you are, thank you, because that means I'm actually getting comments. Bayley is going to lose to Io Sky because you're not going to have Bayley beat Io in their first meeting. Because there's a lot more of a story you can tell with Damage Control against Bayley than just doing a one-time match. And that's why Io Sky is going to beat Bayley. And I will continue that logic in the above match, later in the predictions. LA Knight versus AJ Styles. I'm really unsure who the heel and the babyface are in this match. I think AJ's the heel and LA Knight's the babyface. But I don't really know what to think of this feud. And honestly, I think this is one of the reasons why you need to refresh the brands a little bit after WrestleMania. Even if you just do some trades. But I think LA Knight gets the victory against AJ. I could be wrong, but I think LA Knight gets the victory against AJ because if Tama Tonga is coming in, I would like to see Tama Tonga work with AJ. And Tama Tonga could work with AJ against the OC. But I don't really know what's going to happen here. But I think LA Knight's got to get the win. We move to the triple threat match. Logan Paul against Randy Orton against Kevin Owens. We will likely see Logan's business partner KSI, I'm thinking, at some point in the matchup. And I think I'm going to stick with it when somebody asks me who I think was going to win this matchup. I think Randy Orton gets one more parting gift and an opportunity to be champion one last time before he hangs it up. And he gets the victory at WrestleMania. Because honestly, who knows if Randy's going to make it to another WrestleMania, and giving him one last championship win is a lot more possible than giving him the opportunity to be world champion again. Giving him the United States title would continue to elevate the U.S. title, which I think Logan Paul is doing, but at the same time, the U.S. title is nowhere close to being as prestigious as the Intercontinental. So giving it to somebody like Randy Orton would help, and I think Logan Paul has done a wonderful job as U.S. champion, but it's time to switch things up. And speaking of it's time to switch things up, we move to the World Heavyweight title match. Seth versus Drew McIntyre. I know this might be far-fetched for some, but the fact of the matter is, Drew McIntyre has to win, because there is no hotter heel in WWE right now than Drew McIntyre, and having him lose would, number one, show, in my opinion, that Drew has not re-signed and he's going to take a break. But Drew winning could make him the hottest heel in the company and put him on par or set him up nicely for the eventual feud that we know is coming when Punk gets back. Punk versus McIntyre for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. And with what I think is going to happen in the main event, I will touch on Seth. Yes, I think Seth is going... Yes, Seth losing 2 matches on WrestleMania weekend would affect the normal man, but it would not affect Seth Rollins because of the work that he's put in over the last year. And he is one of the most bulletproof people. He could take the 2 losses. And Drew needs to be the world champion at this point because he has all the momentum in the world. But also, Seth could get moved to SmackDown and eventually feud. I think Seth could get transferred to SmackDown. LA Knight could get transferred to Raw. But the main event, Bloodline Rules, Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. There's got to be interference. There's got to be involvement. But not just on the heel side, on the babyface side as well. It is WrestleMania 40 after all. And you got to figure that they're going to have some moments that we're going to talk about for the week following. And the fact of the matter is, I think, I'm calling it now, John Cena may show up, Steve Austin may show up to have one more face-off with The Rock at WrestleMania. The fact of the matter is, it is a long laundry list of people that could go out there and help Cody Rhodes, but the fact is, Cody Rhodes must win this weekend. He must be the one that defeats Roman Reigns. And you could say, oh, Roman could retain the title. You have Roman retain the title, you kill Cody Rhodes as a babyface. You have Roman retain the title, you kill Cody as a babyface. Tell me I'm wrong, but you'd be the one that's wrong, because how do you come back from all the stuff that's happened over the last 3 months? How do you come back from Cody losing again? How do you come back from that? You don't. Cody wins the title. Cody is the one that finishes his story. Cody is the one who finally puts an end to the Tribal Chief's reign as WWE Undisputed Universal Champion. And Cody gets to move to SmackDown as the top champion. Drew is on Raw as the top champion. And that is how WWE will change and refresh, because the fact of the matter is, when Roman is not the top dog anymore, you will be able to hit the refresh button on the title pictures, and people like Gunther, LA Knight, AJ Styles, and various others who were out of the title picture, Jey Uso, who were out of the title picture because of Roman Reigns, will now be able to move into the title picture again, and it will be fresh matches, because Jey could fight McIntyre, Cody could go against Seth. I am insinuating that I would like to see Seth turn heel. LA Knight could get his opportunity against Drew McIntyre. Hell, LA Knight could get his opportunity against Cody. LA Knight could get his opportunity against Cody, but the fact of the matter is, you may also say Cody versus Rock has to be continued after WrestleMania, and I would not disagree with you. But the fact is, the story after WrestleMania when Roman loses the title is not going to be Cody versus The Rock. It's going to be Rock versus Roman. And that is when the build starts to Rock versus Roman. The fact is, my WrestleMania predictions for Night 2 are the Final Testament because they need the momentum, LA Knight because he needs it more, Randy Orton to give him one more championship reign, Io Sky because you're not going to have Bayley win the first meeting, and it's going to build even more sympathy for her. And also, I think if you're going to have any interference happen in any other matches, I think Logan Paul is probably going to have some interference in his match, but I think also Damage Control will likely get involved in the Women's Championship match in some way, shape, or form. Drew's got to beat Seth because Drew has all the momentum in the world right now as the top heel, and they have to capitalize on Drew's momentum as the top heel and make him a draw. The draw that he should have been 4 years ago during the pandemic, but was not able to be because there were no people. And Cody will conquer the odds. Cody will conquer Bloodline rules. Honestly, like Jay should have at SummerSlam, but that's beside the point. Or could have at SummerSlam, but that's beside the point. But Cody will conquer Bloodline rules. And Cody will defy the odds to finish his story and end the nearly 4-year reign of Roman Reigns on top of SmackDown. And the American Nightmare will take his place on SmackDown as the undisputed Universal Champion. With that being said, let me know down in the comment section below what you think is going to happen this weekend at WrestleMania 40, and I will see you in the next one.